What's up, everybody? Nathan here with What's Cracking Outdoors YouTube channel, and today I'm gonna show you how to make what I call float lines, or as some people call jug lines, set lines, whatever you want to call them. Usually set lines are ones that we tie to limbs. I call them floats because I'm going to be making some floats out of pool noodles and PVC pipe. You can do this for under $100. The way I'm making these, everything's going to be started from new, and you could probably make them a little bit cheaper with stuff you have laying around. One of the very first things we're going to be doing is starting to make our weights. And like I say, it's very cheap process, very easy process, and these things will last you a really long time. So stay tuned, guys. So guys, I went to the local hardware store and I got some 3/4 inch tees. I got some 4-inch length, which I guess what you would call eye bolts. They're 1/4 inch. I got some solo cups from Dollar General, and I got some 3/4 inch PVC pipe. I'm going to be cutting these. If you cut them at 15 inches, you can get 8 pieces out of a 10-foot stick. So I have enough here for 32 if I use all 4 of them. I've got some more pool noodles coming. It's kind of hard to find pool noodles in the middle of winter. I found that out. I went to a place that I knew had them, that I didn't think that they would sell them all. They only had one left and actually gave it to me for free. So that's one thing I didn't have to pay for. But like I say, I'll be cutting these at 15 inches. And then my pool noodles are going to be cut at 12 inches. So you'll have 3 inches stubbed out. And I'll show you how it's all done. Like I say, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start with making our weights. So with the weights, it's going to be using the eye bolt that I've got here. We're going to be using the eye bolts. It's going to be sticking up out of the weight, and the solo cups is what we're going to use to form our weights. I got an 80-pound bag of concrete, and I'm probably going to end up mixing half and half the bag, because I don't want to dump the whole 80-pound bag. It'll probably end up being over 100 pounds in my 5-gallon bucket, so it'll be really heavy. But I'm gonna mix my concrete up and let that set overnight. All right, so the first thing you're going to do is get you a 5-gallon bucket or something to mix your concrete in. Like I said, I'm gonna pour half of the bag in here, so that'll be 40 pounds of concrete mix. And I'm gonna walk over to the water hose and mix it up. I'm gonna go ahead and get something to find for mixing, and what I'm gonna try to do is use a solo cup to scoop it out and pour into the cups. This is just high strength concrete mix, is all it is. to keep your foot out of the bucket. All right, I've got my solo cups and my eye bolts. So you can see the lines. I'm basically just going to the top line right there. That's all I'm doing. I'm trying to keep them all consistent. You don't have to be real particular. All right, so like I said, these are 4-inch eye bolts. I'm not even gonna take the tags off. Just like that. As long as it sits flush, I'm good to go. Just give it a little shake. Try to set them up as straight as you can. We're gonna let those set and cure overnight, and in the morning we'll check them. So next would be to go ahead and cut our pipe. And this is scheduled 40 3/4 inch pipe. And like I say, I'm gonna cut them at 15-inch lengths, and I should get 8 pieces from a 10-foot stick. So out of 20 feet at 15 inches, you'll get 16 of these. Like I say, we're gonna cut these at 15 inches. All right, we've got our 8 pieces. So I'm gonna take my 3/4 inch tee. I've got some heavy duty clear PVC glue. So my brother has graced me with his presence. You'll see him in the background.
What up, y'all?
And that's what it'll look like.
Do.
He's got his Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
My little solo cup that you've seen is juice.
That's how I keep this sexy physique. All these Mountain Dews and Pepsi Colas.
Starting to rain again. All right, all those are glued. That's what they'll look like. All right, guys, so after you get your tees glued on, we're gonna be drilling a hole in the bottom end. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and start drilling our holes. And I'm probably gonna come about 1 inch up from the bottom. I'm using about a 1/4 inch bit, just so you have plenty enough room to get your line through. The line that I'm going to be using is a size 36, and it's a tiered braided line, so it's pretty heavy duty. It's rated at 300 pounds, so there's no catfish that is going to break this line. Get them nice and cleaned. you can see, I've got them all drilled, cleaned out. Next, what we're gonna do is go ahead and measure our pool noodles. I'm pretty sure these things are 48 inches long. I'm gonna measure them. If they're 48 inches long, I should be able to get 4 pieces per noodle. What we're gonna be doing, you got your pool noodles. So your pool noodle is gonna go in and sit down just like that right there. All right, now that I've got it measured and marked, I'm gonna go ahead and cut it. Pretty clean cut. So this is what it's gonna look like. You're gonna take it, and it's gonna slip down just like that right there. And it's gonna leave plenty enough to tie the rig to. So they make different size pool noodles. These right here measure almost 3 inches, and the hole on the inside is, it's actually an inch, but it fits, it slides into the 3/4 inch pipe really easy. And you could, I mean, it's not gonna go nowhere, but you could put a little bit of pipe glue on here. But with shoving it in there like that, I mean, you might get a little bit of twist, but it's not gonna change anything. And the reason I'm not gonna glue mine is because what's gonna happen is, say you use these things for 2 or 3 years, if anybody's ever left a pool noodle outside, you can tell it starts kind of deteriorating. What you can do is you can just cut the line that we're gonna tie here, and you can pull your noodle off and put new noodles on. So go ahead and start fitting these on. Pop them in like so. I'm ready to go get some bait now. I'm ready to go fish these things. So I'm gonna finish cutting my noodles. And I went with one solid color. Green should be pretty easy to see at night. If it was me, I'd go with either green, orange, yellow, and you can do whatever color you want to. So once again, my pool noodle was 49.5. I'm going 12 3/4. It finally quit raining. Thank goodness. It rained all day today. But we're actually going to be going fishing tomorrow. We're going to be fishing for crappie, specks, sockeye, whatever you call them, perch, white perch. So I'll probably be filming that too, guys. So if you like fishing for crappie, tune in. Should be a good video. Hopefully we'll get on them. This rain we got today should muddy up the water a little bit. Where we live, it's a clear water lake, so it can be, if the water's real clear, it can make the fishing tough. All right, so like I say, you're gonna take your braided line. Yeah, okay. We got the end, woohoo! Let's go. All right, so I guess you'd call it a jig. This is what I'm gonna do. I've got my tape laid out at 12 feet. And at the end, I've got a board. I'm gonna just screw right in here. Just enough to hold. Now I can take my twine and just set it right there. And I can pull it. And come back and cut it. Got a pair of side cutters. Just snip it off. He's raining good. I need to. My GoPro batteries are out there. Whew! That's cold. Wasn't planning on getting wet, but so I'm gonna start rigging these up. I'm not sure if I'm gonna have enough line. I only got one spool of line, but I'm gonna start rigging to show you how I'm gonna tie mine. You can tie yours however you want to. Some people have special knots. Mine's gonna be pretty simple. So like I say, to the bottom, I'm gonna start at the bottom. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna come about 6 to 8 inches, like so. I'm gonna double back. Make a loop. Come through that. So like that. Basically, you're gonna have a loop right there. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take my loop, I'm gonna feed through, and I'm gonna pull all my line through that loop right there. And just pull it tight. And the reason I'm doing that and so my twine don't ever come loose. And not only that, doing it this way, like I was telling you earlier about changing the pool noodles, if they wear out, dry rotting, all you'll have to do is just pull it back through, pull your noodle out, and put it back on the same way. So now that that's on, so your weight will be down here at the bottom. I'm gonna come up probably about 3 or 4 feet. Now, the hooks I've got, it's a 5/0 circle hook, and this is an octopus circle hook. You can go smaller. I just chose to go this big just in case we get some big cats on here. So I had to go find a lighter. What I'm gonna do, where I've cut the ends, I'm just put a little heat to it. So before I put the hook all the way on, I'm gonna go ahead and measure up. And I'm gonna go ahead and tie a knot. Just like that. And that's what my hook's gonna run up to. All right, so I've heated my freight in. I've got my knot tied. Stick it through it. It's really tight, which is good, but it's just barely sticking through at the end. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my needle nose pliers and grab that piece, like so. Pull it down until it hits the knot. And I'm gonna run another knot to that. So, hook in my left hand, make a loop. We're gonna feed through it. And you're gonna wanna work that knot as close to the end as you can. Like so. So that's about a foot, is what I've got there. So I'm gonna hold right there, make a loop, and I'm gonna go through my loop. I'm gonna work that knot back as close to that end as I can, just so I have as much room. Like so. I left about 1 inch of it out. So now I'll be able to go through my eye hook on my weight and just go around the cup, and it's going to cinch back just like that. That way you can freely unhook. Now when you're not fishing them, you're just going to take your rope and wrap it up around it. Like so. When you get to your hook, you can take your hook, stab it into the styrofoam so you don't get hooked, and you can either unhook from your weight, or you can just wrap around a little bit and set it in the box. I'm going to be using a tote just like this right here, and that's what I'm going to stack all mine in. So pretty simple, guys. So I'm going to finish stringing these right here up, and I will see you guys in the morning. So stay tuned so you can find out how the cement weights have cured overnight. What's up, y'all? So it's been 2 days since we poured our forms for our float or jug line weights, and now we're going to go ahead and check them. I think they should be pretty much well cured. Make sure these lights are on. And ready to go. All right, so just take this knife, cut that thing like that. And there you go. And that is a perfect formed weight. I have to weigh them to see. That's probably every bit of 5 pounds. So those turned out perfect. I'm very pleased. And these cups were very cheap. I think I paid $1 for 20 cups. I've still got plenty of cups, so I'm not worried about saving the cups. They pop out pretty easy. Cello cups is the way to go, in my opinion. Just a perfect form, guys. That thing right there will last a long time. So on the first ones that I went ahead and rigged up, you'll notice that that was a little hard. I tied my rigs to where my weight would be at the bottom of the line, and then the hook leader comes off of it. On the next ones that I tie, I'm gonna do a little different, just like a catfish rig or a bottom fishing rig. I'm gonna put my weight in the middle or a few feet from the bottom, and then I'm gonna come off with some line, and then I'm gonna tie my swivel on and do my hook. That way, just like a bottom fishing rig, your weight will be on there, and then your line will come off. I think my other lines will do the same way, as long as I'm not in water that is too deep. If you're in water that's too deep, then obviously your bait's going to be higher, and I'm not going to say catfish won't swim up and eat it, because they will, but when you're trying to catch catfish, you're trying to keep that bait on the bottom. So alright, so first thing I'm going to do is I've already got my pipes measured out. I need 4 more pieces to make my 20. I'm going to just use this one. So originally I wanted to make these other ones 20 feet. The roll of line that I got is 118 feet, and I've got 8 more to make. So if you divide that, that's 14 and a half feet. I don't want to be short on line, so I'm just going to make these 14 and a half feet. So I've got my lines cut. I'm not gonna film while I tie every single one because it'll just be a long tying, boring video. But I'm gonna show you guys how I'm gonna tie my first rig. First I'm gonna come off that I want my leader to be, and that's probably about 2 foot. So I'm gonna cut it right here. I'm gonna start with one of my swivels. Now these are size 2 swivels, heavy duty black barrel swivels. It's a barrel swivel, so if that catfish wants to sit there and spin, it's not going to twist the line up. I'm starting with my barrel swivel. Let's make about a 2-inch tag. Go through your eye, pull that barrel swivel through like so. That's going to make a double back, kind of like that, and just pull that thing down, cinch it down like so. It's actually easier than having to tie the knot. So and the tighter that pulls, the tighter it's going to pull on that, so it's not going to come loose. Same way we're doing the weights. Do the same thing with this, with my leader. This time I'll have to feed everything through. Get all that line through. Let's see how that one did. It cinched at the bottom of the barrel. Make sure you pull up over that. Just like that at the top of your eye. And you want to cinch down there. Like so. Make my loop for my end to go into my float. This line right here is so tough, y'all. I kind of wish I would have got the other kind. Not I've tied so much. I mean, you can see it's tearing my hands up. This stuff is almost too strong. But before I get my hooks, I'm going to do this. That way I'm not having to pull my hook through. All I'm doing is having to pull my barrel through. Like so. Set that down. So that's my end. I'm gonna come up about right here. make my weight loop. Like so. So that's about how much you'll have hanging off. Maybe down like this right here, weighing down. Your leaders end up being about 3 feet. Alright, so I just finished tying all of my floats up. They're right there. I'm going to go ahead and take these out. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just set all my weights in the bottom. Just like this. Alright, now that my weights are in there, start laying my floats in there. And they're cut perfect to size because they fit down in there. Alright, so I had 3 that I wasn't able to do because I ended up not having enough line. But I will say I'm actually going to get some different twine than what I've been using. It's a little too strong. It's tearing my fingers up. Somebody's trying to call me, but that's it, guys. That's how I make my catfish floats. You can use them for gar. I'm sure I'll catch some gar, but got a lid that I'm gonna put on there. That's all you got to do. Throw that thing in the boat and you're ready to go set them. But hope you guys enjoyed watching me make these things. Like I say, I'm sure there's different ways of doing it. This is just how I do it. So if you want to see more videos like this, leave some comments below. If you haven't already, click that subscribe button and hit that thumbs up, guys. That's a wrap for this video. We'll see you on the next one.